Bulavinaka, and welcome to another episode of The Notion. My guest today is someone who is humble, hardworking, and passionate about life, work, and family. Let me introduce you to Laitia Tamata, whose story in the next half hour be one to put a smile on your face. Bulavinaka Laitia, give us your story.
Bulavinaka, first of all, thank you for having me in your show today. I'm really honored to be here and to be voicing out myself and of course with your guidance to the people that would be hearing or listening or viewing this short video. So yes, my name is Laitia Tamata. I was brought up here in Suva. My grandfather actually decided to leave the village when he was having four of his own, which includes my father. Back then in the village of Lawaki, Nakasalek and Kandab, he decided to leave the village and bring his kids to Suva. Back in those days, of course, you might anyone could maybe reflect or resemble this. My grandfather faced a lot of harsh words, being brought up in the village, a traditional setting and traditional responsibilities, and having to bring my father and my uncles to Suva was a big step. But he did that, and from that time they came to Suva and settled in Wakanisila. Made many friends and with other relations, and life continued from there. And I was brought up in Nandera at Lord Edrongi place, now on our road. It's a familiar place to my family, and not only myself, all of my cousins that are still here in Fiji, but also some have gone abroad, overseas. We still occupy that place today. One of my uncles is there with his family and grandchildren. So that's starting from my grandfather. And my father met my mom at the University of the South Pacific while they were still studying. My mom is from Nasarawanga village in the district of Lekutu, province of Mbua. My mom went to Dawadi, St. John Dawadi, and my dad went to secondary school in Ratukandavulib. They met in University of the South Pacific, and then I became the third child in their union. So I guess very briefly that's okay. How I came about.
Okay, just I want to focus on your childhood, because I know that you moved from the village and then to Suva. How was the transition from the village coming to Suva? Was it a bit of a culture shock that you have to readapt to everything?
Well, that's my father's part to say. But yes, when we were kids, family was everything. Every weekend we were either at one of my uncle's place, or my cousins were at our place. During Christmas and New Year's, we always went back to the village. I don't know why my father and my uncles always did that, but somehow it instilled to us a sense of belonging, a sense of identity, and always when we always came back from the village after New Year's, you were like always empowered. You know, it's a new year, we're coming back from the village and we're ready to take on another new year.
Okay. Explain about your childhood memories. Was there anything that really stood out for you and was the highlight of your childhood?
Well, during my childhood I was very quiet. I can honestly say that I was often shy. My late brother, I have only one brother, he was the vocal from between us, and I always said that I was normally quiet because he took all that I wanted to say. I guess for childhood memories, just family. My cousins were around, my father's brothers were around, my grandfather. As I said, during weekends we were either at one of the other places. And that is for me, because I guess my grandfather brought my dad and them to Suva. That is how they coped with the transition. And we were the beneficiaries of that transition. And our brotherhood is really strong, not only me and my brother, but me and our cousins and our cousin sisters, being raised up with that kind of unity and bond that my father and his brothers and his sisters had.
I want to know about your childhood with your brothers and your sisters. You were talking about your late brother.
Yeah.
How was the upbringing back then?
Yes, so for us, our mother is an academic. Right now she's a doctor, Dr. Laitia Tamata. She, because of her passion to do research, she's normally went out to studies in Hawaii, in other places, and it was also true for my dad. As a soldier, he went on all those trips to Sinai and other places. But for us, me and my elder sister and my late brother, like our upbringing, he was like our father. He was there all along. Even though as a younger brother, we always face all the spoil and the punches and all the harsh, tough love. But he was there for us, and I'm glad about that. So yeah, lately he's left, but I guess there's a reason for everything. God wanted him to be there, because my father and mom were away a lot. But he was there. He stood in and he did a really good job. My sister's my elder sister Rufina, she's now married to the Vesa family in the Kondrove, and my younger sister is now at SPC, traveling around the region, and I'm doing my own thing, and we're really glad that he stood up to the challenge and did us proud. Yeah.
Coming up after the break, we're going to talk about his love life, his career, and what keeps him grounded. Stay with us. Welcome back to The Notion. You're still here with Laitia Tamata. Now, tell us a little bit about when you met your wife. Just how was that exchange? When did you meet her? What was the thing that was going through your head? Was it love at first sight?
Thank you for that interesting question. Yes, my wife is from Kumi, Verata in Tailevu. I guess the fruit of, as the saying goes, the fruit does not fall far from the tree. My father and mother met at the university, and it was the same for us. I was still studying marine science in Ulamila. She was beginning her studies in banking and finance. It was something in her spirit that attracted me, not more so of physical attraction, but just being around her. I could feel that she was different from every other one in USP. I told her the first time we met and we started talking was that she's different. I could feel something in her spirit that I knew that somehow that I needed. And after all those years, I'm glad that I made the decision to approach her in university, and we started our journey. It was not like a smooth sailing journey. At first few years it was really tough for us in terms of me finding a job, her trying to changing her normal setting with her family and coming into our family, you know, the in-laws. But I think my mom and dad really opened up and gave her an advantage on most of the parts. But yeah, my wife is, I can honestly say she's my personal prophetess. Whenever I know that I'm outside of where I should be, she's telling me up front. And as a man, sometimes we don't want to hear it. But after all these years, I know that I need those kind of straight up talk and straight up, I guess, assistance from her.
You mentioned that in the beginning it was tough between you guys, just trying to cope with everything. What was the common energy that held you guys together?
Yeah, that's the thing. When something that always brought us together was listening to worship songs, to worship music. She had a CD player at the time. She always took with her, and the first time she gave the CD player to me to listen to, I did not know where it came from, but the lyrics, it was Hillsong. The lyrics of that music went into my ears, touched my heart, and tears started flowing from my eyes. Which was, it's all of those times in our first dating, which I understood within me that this is different, and I wanted to take the first step on the journey or go into that boat together. Yeah, this is something that, yeah, we started our family. There was really rough seas, being, I guess we were young, but I guess, I believe that God held us together. At one point in our marriage, it was almost over, but I also know that we have relatives, family members that were praying, and that is something that kept us together.
Now you mentioned that you're not much of a talker, and with every silent people, there's always other people always draw their conclusion from it and always get something wrong. What was the one thing that people always get about you that you think they always get it wrong every time?
Well, I guess for me, people maybe overlooked me. Maybe they didn't think that I had something to say, but at most of the time I'm talking to someone and it's as if they couldn't hear me. But that is something that I've been learning, which enabled me to look inside myself deeper in terms of the gifts that I have. So that is something that I've understood, and something that I've developed over the years, is that it doesn't matter what's happening around. It's what I know, it's what I believe, and when we have that, I guess, the spirit in us, it's very easy to discern. Even if we are not heard, there's another, the world that is here. We cannot see it, but it's here, in which what we say it's been given the authority for us to say and be bold, and be confident. Even now, sometimes with some of our colleagues, some of the people we talk to, it doesn't bother me that much. I know who I am, I know what I'm here to do, and I know where I'm going.
What normally relaxes you on a stressful day?
Well, on a stressful day, it's again, I just normally bring out my favorite gospel music. Whether it's now, it's very easy to go into YouTube and just play some of the songs, and I just immediately forget about what we're facing here and automatically tuned. And also there's my children. I've got 4 kids. Penny Tamata is now in Form 5 in RKS, and there's Deborah Tamata in Form 4 in St. Joseph, and Hadassah in Class 7 in Vilto, and our last one is Joshua. Joshua, our 4th, he's special. His development is slow, but his mind is really fast, and he's just takes out all the stress. He hugs everyone that he sees, and he says Yandra to everyone that he sees, and everybody that passes by, he says Mode. And being just around Joshua is a stress reliever for me, and it's really good. We lost our 5th one, Yohanan, newborn, but we know that we still have the love. It brought us together even more as a small family unit. Yeah, so yeah, listening to worship song and just being around the family.
Thank you very much. Coming up next, we're going to talk to him about his achievements and also his future plans. Stay with us. Hey, welcome back. This is The Notion. You're still here with Tevita and Laitia. Now, please just explain to us why marine science?
Well, after finishing my foundation studies at USP, we apply everywhere, and only two came back on a positive note. One is to study to be a dentist, and another one was marine science. And from that time, there's someone that I always listened to was my late brother, Penny Tamata. Everybody knows him as Ben Tamata. Starting from Form 3 in RKS, he chose the subject that I should take, and then coming into subject combinations for Form 5 or 11, and then to USP. And then he told me to do marine science, and this was confirmed by one of my cousins, Laitia Tamata. Is now in New Zealand. He just went to the shop and he brought the papers, and inside the papers there was something on marine life, and he said to me, "This is confirmation that you should take this." All during this time, I was also in USP, and the Kandavu students of USP at end of every year we normally go to Kandavu, and we awareness. Challenge the young boys and girls about education, and try and make awareness to the parents. And during this time, I was in Kandavu going village to village, and something that I was saying a lot was make sure you take care of your child's education, because when they grow up, they will come back and assist. I didn't know that I was talking about myself. In terms of, when you study marine conservation, marine science, it means right now if you have a job, you'll be going back to the coastal communities, using what we've learned, applying it, so that the coastal communities have a better chance, or their lives are improved. Their natural resources, fisheries resources are improved from back then. And starting from the first time I went to Kandavu for a job, I was going to raise awareness on fish catch and the sizes of fish. I boarded the plane in Osori. I was really young, and I was about to go to a number of villages in Kandau. When I boarded the plane, it really dawned, something happened, and I realized that this was going to be a major part of my life, going to communities, villages, and assisting them with managing their fisheries, putting together their committees, and injecting some sort of governance into the whole system. Something in which I really liked and I'm really passionate about now. It includes working with data and trying to inform the community based on evidence, based on data. I really love doing this, and straight after this, tomorrow I'm heading back to the communities, and it's really good. So that's, I guess, why marine science is a part of my life.
Now, you're still very young and achieved so much in your life. What is the one big achievement that you know that you can be proud of, and also tell your children and your descendants?
For that question, it's about breaking barriers. For me, with my career, it's about fisheries. If I was to say something about fisheries, it's about helping in revising Fiji's inshore fish size limit. This is in terms of the size of fish in which our communities should catch, that will allow the fish themselves to spawn naturally or to restock. But in terms of something that I'm doing in my own village is working with the youth. At a time, our village was really influenced about the green leaves that is affecting a lot of our communities in Kandavu. But we took a stand. We took a stand to that, and very slowly our youth are coming out of it, coming out of being lied to that this source of income, this livelihood option is much better. But we've come out of it. That's in terms of our youth, and another part of my life is being involved with the Ratu Kandabulebo School Old Boys. That is something that I could also say is an achievement. There's a group of old boys, they are known as the 2000, decade of 2000. We've been supporting academic at this school for a long time. Archaeas, you only see them up there in Coca-Cola and Deans. But during the third term for academic, the energy, the strength, the urgency is not there. But this group, we've been operating for the past 12 to 15 years now, and we on a stride for a breakthrough in terms of achievement. And I believe if not this year, next year, we will find out soon nationally what I'm talking about in terms of the academic achievements at Archaeas.
Thank you very much. What would you like people to remember you by?
Helping the youth, helping the future generation. This is something that I'm really passionate about, because I believe we deserve more. We have been enlightened or made aware with very little of what we can do. So while growing up, I know that I've faced a lot of challenges, and I've fallen short of a number of things. But so this is something that makes me really angry. I'm agitated when I see our youth not being able to achieve what they can. In most of our school reports, it's written there, they have the potential, you have the potential. And what I'm about is that potential. I want to tap on those potential, whether it's secondary school students or the youth in the village or our communities, for their future. So, if something that I would like to be known about is assisting our youth have a better life than what we are currently living out.
To the youth that's going to be listening today, any advice that you would like to leave with them?
Well, to the youth that might be listening, I'll think first of all, obey your parents. If you have elder brothers and sisters, you don't know how long they'll be there. Listen to them. I've done that, and I've lived out in what being obedient is to your brother is like, and I'm really fortunate to have that in my life. And just lastly, being a youth is remember your dreams. You know, all of us. For me, when I was in Form 3, I dreamt that I was part of Parliament, part of Fiji's government, and it's something that is becoming clear to me right now. So the youth, you may have some dreams. Maybe you're dreaming about being a doctor or being a pilot. Don't let the current status steal that from you. Write down your dreams and pray to the one that gave you that dream, because with God everything is possible.
Now that is the life story of Laitia Tamata. We will hear of another interesting take